Good morning, everybody. We are it's Happy Friday, so hopefully when you're watching this, if it's a different day than Friday, I hope it's still a really great day and there's a lot to look forward to. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic dietitian and attuned eating expert, and we are wrapping up our week around the joy of eating, the joy of cooking, the joy of movement. And so I have been just feel so blessed to be able to see you all's comments about the things in your life in terms of movement that, like, I had so many comments this week. It was wonderful in this space and in the intuitive eating group around the things you would do if that inner critic wasn't trying to run the show. And that's the thing, that's the joy stealer. You know, stealer is this idea that we can't do certain things because of, frankly, what people think about our bodies, and allowing that to rob us of the joy we might be having with moving our bodies or cooking the food we like or eating the food we like. These are really big deals. So this is a live Q&A, so I'll just hang on a few minutes. If nobody wants to answer any questions or ask any questions, I won't hang on too long or do a big long lecture. But like I said, thank you all so much live for watching, but would like to hear from you. Like, what did you notice this week as you started to, like, slow down and take a step back as to what, if I'm really thinking about this, and if I didn't worry about calories, if I was able and willing to slow down and give myself more time, what would I eat and what would I do? And so here's some questions you can think about and maybe answer below. I'll be happy to comment, provide some support. Is, if I didn't worry about like even avoiding certain sensations, like, what would I do? What would I fill my life with? So if I wasn't busy in my head as much around calories, numbers, macros, what I think I should do. And I tend to actually work with a lot of overfunctioners, which means people who overcommit, overwork, overthink, highly sensitive people, and how much we even dip into other people's experience when that's not really the healthiest things for us to be doing. I know it's like a autopilot response. It's been trained into us. We've had to do it out of protection. When I say out of protection, meaning like, I gotta keep track of how people are feeling so I know how to respond and keep myself safe. We want to be thinking about when we start to make some space in our life and in ourselves and our being for what we value, what we care about, what we want to offer, what our purpose is. We realize, well, it ain't counting calories, and it's not about the size of my body, and it's not even what everybody else feels has anything to do with me. What would we do? So Lakin, you said I would be worried I wouldn't have. Okay, so I'm sorry, I think there's some autocorrect stuff going on with your, I don't know exactly what you were meaning, so please retype that so I can help you out. I want to hear about what your concerns are, but I would love to hear more. So does anybody want to share something they recognize, like, oh, I really enjoy XYZ? So before this, I was kind of walking around this complex. I have several calls today, so just kind of walking around, but I'm staying close to school for my daughter for some stuff, from event stuff. And so I was thinking, it's kind of getting hot already. It's still hot here, here where I live. And I thought, I'm going to get me a lemonade. A fresh squeezed one. It's got some lavender in it. It's super just refreshing. And, this is really joyful. I'm not sure how much I'll finish it because, it's one of those things. I had a later breakfast, so I might finish it. I might not. We'll see what happens. I'd like to because it tastes so good. But it's really just a blessing, to be able to, like, oh, I feel like a lemonade. That sounds really good. I went to my favorite bakery and got it, and it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a lemonade. And there's a lot of joy. Not so much, this is delicious, but for me the joy comes from the space and the freedom and the appreciation of, like, this isn't a thing. I'm not thinking about calories. I'm not thinking about, oh, it's 10 o'clock Eastern in the morning and I'm getting a lemonade, and what that means about anything. So again, everybody who's watching live, thank you so much. If you just joined in, we're talking about joy and what's robbing you of that in terms of your food or ability to feel more comfortable in your body. And I'm just here to provide some Q&A support, and just to hear what's been good for you, or your comments or concerns or victories. I would love to hear about that. Like I said, this week we had a ton of comments, especially yesterday, around, gosh, if my inner critic was just like, thank you, inner critic, for trying to protect me all these years, to keep me safe, keep me away from criticism about my body, but thank you, you did a good job, but I'm going to go to the public pool. I'm going to gonna just let myself play more of my movement versus having to be so regimented. Those are the things I would do. I would just go to the gym and play around. I wouldn't have like a routine, and I would really listen to my body. And those are just some things we really want to get clear about. And the next barrier is, well, okay, so if that's what you want, again, who says? And working with whatever fears those are. So Nala says, slowing down feels difficult. Is there an easy way? And there's not an easy way to do it. It's really about, one, deciding, like, I know that this is imperative for the next step, next level. Slowing down is just a matter of, like, I'm going to do it, or at least try it for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, and noticing what's arising and bringing self-care, compassion, to whatever physiological responses you're having. And it's not going to be pretty. It might be ugly. It might be, when I say ugly, it might be like your heart might race a little. Maybe not. Maybe it's just like, oh, why did I put this off for so long? I just procrastinated this. I thought that was going to be terrible. And it could be like, oh, I so needed this. Thank you for letting myself do that. It could be that it's harder and you need more support. But again, it's the first step is really like, you know what? I don't need to do this thing fast. I don't need to jam in more today. Checking in, like, well, when is enough enough? You know, whether it's work, housework, meeting people, we only have so much capacity. And that's really important to be able to honor, just like hunger and fullness. So, all right, I'm gonna hope that helps. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna just read this. So I've been struggling. Yeah, of course. We're gonna have, when there's more unease in our lives, whether it's from work stress, family stress, health stress, financial stress, whatever. That's the point of disordered eating, is that it is a faux window of tolerance. It's just like it's a adaptive strategy to be able, when we don't feel like we have the tools, the resources, the capacity to, take care of ourselves and be able to navigate the situation. So I highly recommend, if you're not already, to be working with some kind of somatic counselor or therapist to help you build your capacity. I highly recommend that. Every time that, I know that you might benefit from, I have this audio series. It's like $7. There's several somatic exercises, and you can start practicing learning how to grow your capacity to just be present with what you're feeling. That might be something you want to think about. Let me think here. I'll have to go look for it for you and link it below, but that's something really, really important, is that if we don't have something else, I'm going to do a reach. Something else we can reach for to try to bring some, it's okay to be even just sitting. I do this a lot in my videos. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of find your feet, find your seat, find your back. What are you noticing? How does it feel to have something at your back that's literally got your back? And just start practicing there. But reaching out, having support to actual people is really important as well. You probably know that. So I know there's a lot going on there, Lakin. And if you ever need to reach out and chat personally, please do so, okay? Because 1 year is too much, too long, right? To be struggling with this and to keep leaning on the thoughts and the behaviors as a way to try to navigate life. It's not joyful. It's just survival, but it's not thriving, and we're not made for that. So, all right. Does anybody else have any thoughts, questions, experiences? Let's see what else I can mention. Celebrations around like really starting to tune into like where the joy is around cooking, eating, moving, how realizing that we have to fill ourselves with other things in life, otherwise this culture will do it for you. Or it's easy for those old thoughts and old diet behavior thoughts and thoughts, behaviors that kind of creep back in, because it's not going to feel so settling to feel so empty, or there's nothing there for you. And I know we talked about this earlier this week, but like we also recognize that when we start to slow down, you might recognize, I don't feel like I have any room for myself in my body, and everything feels like too much. Even I know that what I ate isn't too much, but it feels like it. That's a sign that there's some ick in there that's like taking up too much space, and it is taking up space for your joy as well. And this is where you'll see a lot of those adaptive strategies to get away, to not let yourself do the things that would feel good. So, all right. Like I said, this is a live Q&A, so I kind of only hang out as long as people have questions. So thank you all so much for your questions and comments. You can always do more later, tag me, those kind of things. I would also love to hear about what is important to you. So you can private message me, email me, put it below, some topics that you'd like me to be talking about. The reason I do so many little videos and little prompts and little posts is because we need to have time to digest things. If I did big, long 2-hour videos every week and just one time a week, I think it would be too much. I probably wouldn't watch it. I do smaller bites, so we're able to like take it in, like work on it, like actually take action on it, and then see what happens, and then we go from there. So I want to continue to do that. But if you have any preferences, anything you are really like, I'm seeing that this is a thing that keeps repetitively showing up, and I'm getting stuck here, then it's time to try something different. So, all right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a really great weekend. Lean into like something that feels joyful, even if it's hard to do. You might find it's like, oh, it's really hard for me to just relax. That's okay. Try to do it anyway. Oh gosh, it's really hard for me to do variety in my eating. That's okay. Go out to eat, have somebody else cook something different for you, and sit down to eat it. Oh gosh, I'm really having a hard time like not moving in a way that I've always done. Like, okay, I need you to like at least do something different with it, then slow it down, do less time, go a different way. Anything you can do to start like witnessing a different experience, and then what happens. All right, so anyway, I'll talk to you all really soon. Thank you all as usual for coming. I always feel honored about that, and have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye.